The streets of Little Italy were always filled with the smells of delicious food, but to little Tony, nothing smelled better than his nonna's homemade milk curd. As a toddler, he would beg for a taste of the creamy, tangy cheese every chance he got. But as he got older, Tony's love for milk curd grew into an addiction, and soon he was willing to do anything to get his hands on more of the delicious cheese. Tony started by stealing bits of milk curd from his nonna's kitchen, but soon he was sneaking into the local dairy farms to steal gallons of milk for himself. He experimented with different ways of making the cheese, eventually perfecting his own secret recipe that was unlike anything anyone had ever tasted before. Before long, Tony had established himself as the milk curd Don, with a vast network of dairy farmers, cheesemakers, and milkmen under his control. He had become the most powerful figure in the world of milk curd, and he wasn't about to let anyone take that away from him. But the Italian Mafia had other plans. They had always controlled the food markets in Little Italy, and they weren't about to let some upstart milk curd dealer take their place. The Mafia began a brutal campaign to take over Tony's milk curd empire, but Tony was ready for them. Tony had always been a cunning strategist, and he used his knowledge of milk curd to outwit the Mafia at every turn. He created secret hideouts for his cheese-making operations, and he trained his cheesemakers to defend themselves with curd-based weapons. The war between the milk curd Don and the Italian Mafia raged on for years, with both sides suffering heavy losses. But Tony refused to back down, and eventually, he emerged victorious. He had driven the Mafia out of Little Italy and established his milk curd empire as the undisputed king of the cheese market. Tony knew that his love for milk curd had led him down a dark path, but he didn't care. He had become the milk curd Don, and nothing could stop him. He continued to expand his empire, branching out into new types of cheese and establishing relationships with dairy farmers all over the world. Some say that Tony's love for milk curd was his downfall, but to Tony, it was his greatest strength. He had turned his addiction into a lucrative business and had become a legend in the world of cheese. And as he savored another bite of his beloved milk curd, Tony knew that he would always be the milk curd Don.